Daniel Boone was born on November 2, 1734, in present-day Berks County near Reading, Pennsylvania, to his father Squire Boone Sr. and Sarah Morgan. His father was a Quaker who had moved to America from England. They lived in a log cabin. Boone was their sixth child and didn't receive much of an education. His older brother's wife taught him how to read and write, and his father taught him survival skills and how to handle the wilderness. His family moved to the Yadkin River Valley in Rowan County, North Carolina. When he was 15, Boone started his own hunting business. Boone is most known for his expeditions in the West. In 1755, Boone joined the military and was part of the French and Indian War. He served under Brigadier General Edward Braddock during the defeat in the Battle of Monongahela. Boone escaped an ambush on horseback. He married his wife, Rebecca Bryan, in 1756 after his family had moved to North Carolina. They had a total of 10 children. Boone was quoted saying, "A peaceful life only required a good gun, a good horse, and a good wife." Daniel Boone's first journey into Kentucky was in 1767. He went on a hunting trip and followed the Big Sandy River in Kentucky. He went as far as Floyd County. A common misconception is Boone's first expedition into Kentucky was through the Cumberland Gap, but that trip came after his trip up the Big Sandy River. In May of 1769, Boone led the Cumberland Gap expedition with John Finley and 4 other men. They discovered the trail through the Cumberland Gap, which thousands of pioneers and early settlers would travel. In 1773, Boone's oldest son, James, was killed by a group of Native Americans during an expedition. Richard Henderson of the Transylvania Company then hired Boone in 1775 to lead an expedition of settlers into central Kentucky to create a colony. When they settled, Daniel called it Boonesboro. Daniel and his group of frontiersmen built a fort. You can see a replica of the fort today in Madison County. He brought his family to Boonesboro later that same year. Boonesboro was the second settlement established in Kentucky by American colonists. Throughout the years, the fort saw many travelers and settlers, as it was a stable fortress against many attacks from Shawnee, Cherokee, and other tribes who resisted the settlement of American colonists. Daniel's daughter Jemima was captured in 1776, and he and other Boonesboro settlers were able to make a quick rescue. 2 years later, in 1778, Boone himself was captured by the Shawnee. He stayed with them for many months, almost a full year. He was adopted into the tribe by Chief Blackfish and had a rather peaceful captivity. He was given the name Big Turtle. He soon heard about a possible attack on Fort Boonesboro. He waited for the right time and escaped. He traveled 160 miles all the way to Boonesboro for 4 days to warn the others of the pending attack. When he arrived, no one recognized him and was skeptical if he was really Daniel Boone. His cat noticed him and sat in his lap, and the others knew it must be Boone. The Shawnee army soon arrived and surrounded the fort. The siege of Boonesboro was a violent affair and lasted 10 days, ending when the Shawnee retreated home. After the attack, Boone was court-martialed because many of the frontiersmen thought he had betrayed them for his captives. He was tried at Fort Logan, but was acquitted of all charges. In 1779, Boone went back to North Carolina to bring his family back to Kentucky. He brought many settlers back with him. One family was the family of Captain Abraham Lincoln, the grandfather of President Lincoln. Boone moved many times throughout his life. His philosophy was simple. If he could see the smoke from another house, it was too close and time to move. He moved to Limestone, modern-day Maysville. He opened a tavern and surveyed land while there. In 1784, Boone was 50 years old. John Filson published his book, The Discovery, Settlement, and Present State of Kentucky, which featured the adventures of Colonel Daniel Boone. The book told many tales about Daniel Boone's experiences in the frontier. This publication led to the creation of the legend of Daniel Boone, and probably why so many people are most familiar with Daniel Boone instead of other frontiersmen of Kentucky. Boone fought in many wars, including Lord Dunmore's War, the Revolutionary War, and many battles in Kentucky and Ohio with Native Americans. Boone was never a typical politician, but he did hold some offices. He was a delegate to the Virginia General Assembly and Sheriff of Fayette County, Virginia. Boone surveyed land throughout his life. But over the years, many land disputes came about and lawsuits were filed. These issues plagued Daniel financially, leading him to move out of Kentucky. Boone moved to Missouri in 1799. He died there on September 26, 1820. He was 85 years old. His body was later moved to Frankfort Cemetery in Frankfort, Kentucky. Of course, there are many events of Daniel Boone's life that are left out of this video. He lived a long and full life, and many books have been written about him. I hope you've enjoyed learning about Daniel Boone. He's one of the most important frontiersmen connected to the settlement and founding of Kentucky. Boone County, the 30th county of Kentucky, was named after Daniel Boone. Don't forget to try out audibletrial.com/KYHistoryPod to get a free book of your choosing. If you'd like to support the channel, check out our Patreon page at patreon.com/KYHistoryPod. Like, subscribe, and hit the notification button for more Kentucky history content. Find us on these social media platforms and check out the Kentucky History Podcast on these podcast platforms for more in-depth history of Kentucky. Thanks for watching, and we'll see you next time.